Good morning, everyone. So, our topic for today is about exploring environmental ethics, a deep dive into Peter Singer's practical ethics. In the intricate tapestry of a moral philosophy, few thinkers have woven a more profound discourse on ethical dilemmas than Peter Singer. Within the pages of his seminal work, quote unquote, Practical Ethics, Singer leads us on an intellectual odyssey, unraveling complex moral quandaries that lie in the intersection of human progress and ecological preservation. The 10th chapter of his thought provoking treatise, in particular, invites us to grapple with an ethical conundrum of a profound significance: the vexing choice between erecting a dam and safeguarding a pristine wilderness. At first blush, this decision may appear to be a stark dichotomy between economic advancement and environmental conservation. However, as Singer masterfully guides us through this philosophical labyrinth of this dilemma, the seemingly simple binary unravels into the kaleidoscope of intricate ethical dimensions. In this exploration, Singer challenges us to reevaluate our deepest values and priorities, to question the assumptions that underpin our choices, and to confront the profound ethical implications of our actions. For the historical roots, the Western tradition. To understand the context of the ethical dilemma, Singer takes us back to the historical roots of Western attitudes towards nature. These attitudes have been significantly influenced by both Hebrew and Greek traditions. In this worldview, humans are positioned at the center of the moral universe, with dominion over nature. This implies that the acting without regard for nature was considered to be in accordance with God's decree. The idea of human dominance over nature was further entrenched by Christianity, with Thomas Aquinas asserting that there is no possibility of sinning against non human animals or the natural world. In essence, the dominant Western tradition viewed nature as existing solely for human benefit, with no intrinsic value. Harm to plants and animals wasn't considered sinful unless it directly harmed humans.
Intrinsic value and moral disagreement. At the heart of the profound ethical quandary explored in this chapter lies the concept of intrinsic value, an idea that fundamentally challenges the conventional calculus of worth. Intrinsic value signifies that something possesses inherent goodness or desirability in and of itself, without being relegated to a mere means to an end, such as financial gain or resource acquisition. Peter Singer's compelling analysis compellingly demonstrates how expanding the basis of our moral decisions beyond the realm of human interest transforms the entire perspective on the damn dilemma. However, this expansion of moral consideration invariably gives rise to a thorny issue. Who or what should be included in our moral deliberations? Should it be restricted solely to the human realm? Or do we have a moral obligation to consider the interests of non human beings as well? Reverence for life. Expanding the moral circle. In grappling with the intricate fabric of moral disagreement that ensues, we encounter a beacon of guidance in Albert Schweitzer's profound ethic of reverence for life. Schweitzer's perspective offers a compelling alternative to the anthropocentric worldview that has long dominated ethical discourse. This paradigm invites us to broaden our ethical purview beyond the boundaries of humanity, compelling us to consider the flourishing and well being of all living beings within the intricate tapestry of life. Central to Schweitzer's ethos is the assertion of the interconnectedness of all life forms, a vision that challenges the notion of humanity as a solitary and dominant entity in the web of existence. According to this perspective, the health and vitality of ecosystems are intrinsically linked to the well being of all diverse species they comprise. In embracing this interconnectedness, Schweitzer underscores the profound moral responsibility we bear to to safeguard this intricate web of life, recognizing that each thread in the tapestry contributes to its resilience and vibrancy. The moral implications of Schweitzer's ethic are far reaching, challenging us to transcend the limitations of anthropocentrism and embrace a broader biocentric perspective. In doing so, we acknowledge the inherent worth of not only our fellow humans, but also the myriad non human beings with whom we share this planet. This perspective calls for a profound reorientation of our ethical compass, urging us to consider the welfare of animals, plants, and ecosystems as equally deserving of moral consideration. By weaving the principle of reverence for life into our ethical fabric, we embark on a transformative journey, one that redefines our moral implications and compels us to act as stewards of the Earth's rich biodiversity. It prompts us to question the narrowness of our previous moral circles and inspires a more inclusive, ecologically attuned approach to ethical decision making.
Deep ecology, a broader ethical framework. So, as Peter Singer's exploration of environmental ethics continues to unfold, he introduces us to a profound and expansive perspective known as the deep ecology, an ethical paradigm that transcends traditional anthropocentric thinking and places the preservation of a biosphere at the forefront of our moral considerations. This transformative viewpoint challenges us to reevaluate our relationship with the natural world and emphasizes the intrinsic value of the entire species, ecosystem, and the biosphere as a whole. So, at the heart of a deep ecology lies a fundamental departure from what Singer refers to as the shallow ecological thinking, an approach that predominantly centers on human centric benefits and utilitarian considerations. In contrast, deep ecology calls for a profound shift in our ethical orientation, prioritizing the integrity and well being of a biosphere itself. This perspective echoes the sentiments of Aldo Leopold's influence, quote unquote, land ethic, which extends the boundaries of a moral community to encompass not only sentient beings, but also the soil, water, plants, and animals that constitute the intricate web of life on Earth. So, within the framework of deep ecology, several foundational principles emerge, each contributing to a noble ethical framework that embraces the intrinsic value of all life forms and biosphere as a whole. So, the first one is intrinsic value of life. So, central to the deep ecology is the recognition that the well being and flourishing of both human and non human life on Earth have intrinsic value. This profound acknowledgement underscores that every living entity possesses inherent worth, independent of its utility to human beings. So the second one is richness and diversity. Another core principle of the deep ecology is the affirmation that the richness and diversity of all life forms significantly contribute to the realization of these intrinsic values and are valuable in and of themselves. This perspective celebrates the intricate tapestry of biodiversity as a source of wonder, beauty, and ecological stability. The third one is limitation and human impact. Deep ecology posits that humans have no inherent right to reduce the richness and diversity of all life forms, except when necessary to satisfy vital needs. This principle challenges the prevailing ethos of unchecked resources, exploitation, and advocates for more cautious, restrained approach to human intervention in the natural world. In embracing this principle, deep ecology champions what is often referred as biocentric egalitarianism. This ethical stance treats all entities within the ecosphere as possessing equal intrinsic worth, thereby challenging the anthropocentric view of nature that has long dominated our ethical discourse. Deep ecology beacons us to recognize that the biosphere is a complex and interconnected system in which the well-being of all life forms, from the smallest microorganism to the grandest ecosystems, is interdependent and mutually influential. This profound perspective prompts us to transcend the narrow confines of human centric thinking and embrace a more holistic and inclusive ethical framework. It compels us to consider that the ethical implications of our actions not only for humanity but the entirety of life on Earth. By doing so, deep ecology invites us to reassess our role as stewards of the planet and to cultivate a deeper sense of reverence and responsibility toward the biosphere that sustains us all. So, in the subsequent exploration of deep ecology, we will delve further into its implication for how we interact with the natural world, how we structure our societies, and how we envision a future where the intrinsic value of all life forms and the biosphere itself are cherished and protected as a paramount ethical imperatives.
Future generations and intergenerational responsibility. In Peter Singer's exploration of environmental ethics, one of the paramount concerns that emerges is the imperative of considering future generations in our environmental decisions. This ethical dimension introduces a profound temporal dimension into our moral calculus, one that extends far beyond the confines of our immediate needs and desires. Singer underscores the significance of this perspective by drawing attention to the case of virgin forests, which serve as poignant symbols of the connection between the past, present, and future in the natural world. Virgin forests, as Singer eloquently articulates, are not mere collections of trees, but living chronicles of millions of years of natural evolution. These pristine landscapes bear witness to the slow, intricate processes that have shaped our planet over eons, and their preservation carries immense historical and ecological significance. Traditionally, societies with a deep respect for tradition have recognized and revered these living testaments to the Earth's history. However, in the context of modern culture, where the prevailing ethos often prioritizes short term economic gains, the preservation of such irreplaceable natural treasures is increasingly imperiled. Singer provocatively challenges the conventional approach of assessing the value of nature solely through monetary evaluation, coupled with discount rates that inherently prioritize immediate returns over long term consequences. In the case of virgin forests and analogous natural wonders, this reductionist approach falls woefully short in capturing their true worth. The value of these pristine landscapes transcends mere economic considerations. It resonates with an intrinsic connection to the past, an awe inspiring beauty, and a vital role in the ecological functioning of our planet. Crucially, Singer underscores the moral imperative of recognizing the value of nature to future generations. This perspective compels us to view these natural wonders as a legacy that we hold in trust, not just for our own fleeting moment in history, but for the posterity of humanity and the web of life itself. It reminds us that our actions today have the power to shape the world that future generations will inherit, and thus we bear a profound responsibility to make choices that prioritize their well being. Moreover, Singer invokes the principle of intergenerational responsibility, an ethical precept that demands we ensure that future generations do not suffer the dire consequences of our unsustainable actions, just as we have been wronged by the imprudent choices of past generations. This principle calls for a radical re-evaluation of our approach to environmental stewardship, prompting us to reorient our priorities, policies, and practices towards sustainability, resilience, and the safeguarding of the natural world.
Developing an environmental ethic. In the latter part of this pivotal chapter, Peter Singer delineates a comprehensive framework for the development of the environmental ethic, a moral stance that transcends the immediate and narrow interests of the humanity to encompass the welfare of all sentient creatures and the well-being of generations yet to come. Singer's exposition transcends the traditional boundaries of the ethical discourse, urging us to cultivate a profound appreciation for the unspoiled nature and the intrinsic value of wild places, while also fostering a heightened sense of responsibility towards responsible family planning aimed at mitigating the adverse human impact on the environment. At its core, an environmental ethic, as expounded by Singer, marks a deliberate departure from the prevailing ethos of materialism and conspicuous consumption. It serves as the clarion call for the individuals and societies to shift their focus to the relentless pursuits of material possession to the cultivation of personal growth and fulfillment. In this transformation of values, the environmental ethic exposes the ideas of frugality, resourcefulness, and the profound commitment to sustainable living. One of the central tenets of this ethical paradigm is the wholehearted endorsement of practices that prioritize environmental well-being. This encompasses the judicious adoption of eco-friendly products as well as the cultivation of a culture that thrives on the principle of reusing, recycling, and reducing waste. Through these conscientious choices, Singer's environmental ethic challenges the conventional notion of extravagance that has dominated modern consumer societies, inviting us to redefine our own understanding of success. In this redefinition, the environmental ethic elevates and celebrates the pleasures derived from alternative sources of gratification. It beckons us to relish the joy of loving relationship, responsible recreation, ethical dietary choices, and the fulfillment that springs from creative work. Furthermore, it places a premium on the spiritual nourishment derived from immersing oneself in the untouched beauty of unspoiled landscapes. In essence, it provides a compass for navigating life's complexities in a manner that enhances our connection with the natural world and foster a deep-seated commitment to its preservation. Yet, developing such as environmental ethic, as elucidated by Singer, is not merely an individual pursuit, it is a societal imperative that necessitates a fundamental reconfiguration of our collective values and lifestyle. It demands a concerted effort to reconcile the relentless drive for economic growth with the imperative of ecological sustainability, reorienting our societies towards a harmonious coexistence with the environment.
Conclusion: Reevaluating our relationship with the environment. In Peter Singer's monumental work, Practical Ethics, we have embarked on a philosophical journey through the intricate terrain of environmental ethics. Our exploration has led us to confront the profound complexities surrounding environmental decisions, unveiling the historical foundations of Western traditions that have traditionally emphasized human dominion over nature. Singer's incisive analysis calls upon us to reassess our ethical stance and foster a more responsible and harmonious connection with the environment. Our journey began with an examination of the historical roots of Western traditions, which have long positioned humanity as the apex of nature's hierarchy. This anthropocentric worldview has shaped our actions and decisions for centuries, but Singer has expertly illuminated its limitations, urging us to challenge the assumptions that have governed our relationship with the natural world. As we continued our exploration, the concept of intergenerational ethical responsibility emerged as a central theme. This concept implores us to consider the consequences of our actions not just for our own generation, but for those who will inherit the earth from us. Singer persuasively argued for the preservation of the intrinsic value of irreplaceable natural wonders, exemplified by virgin forests. This preservation is not solely an act of environmental stewardship, but also a profound ethical duty to ensure that future generations inherit a world enriched by the legacy of past natural marvels. Albert Schweitzer's reverence for life expanded the boundaries of our moral circle by recognizing the intrinsic worth of all beings, not only humans. This transformative perspective emphasized the interconnectedness of all life forms and underscored our moral responsibility to protect this intricate web of existence. Schweitzer's vision provided a compelling alternative to anthropocentrism, advocating for a reevaluation of our ethical compass and a more inclusive approach to environmental ethics. The pinnacle of our exploration introduced us to deep ecology, a paradigm that transcends anthropocentric thinking and centers the preservation of the biosphere in our moral considerations. This revolutionary perspective emphasized the intrinsic value of entire species, ecosystems, and the biosphere as a whole. Deep ecology introduced principles that challenged our conventional notions of worth, promoting a more holistic, egalitarian approach to the intrinsic value of life. In conclusion, Peter Singer's practical ethics has guided us through the complex ethical landscape of environmental decision making, compelling us to reconsider our relationship with the environment. Our journey has illuminated the need for a profound shift in societal values and behaviors, a shift towards a more sustainable and harmonious coexistence with the natural world. As we conclude our exploration, we are left with the profound imperative to act as stewards of our planet, to recognize the intrinsic value of all life forms and the biosphere itself, and to chart a course toward a future where ethics and ecology harmonize in a symphony of reverence, responsibility, and respect for the earth that sustains us all.